Welcome to Beechfield Kennels at Studham, deep in the Bedfordshire countryside. Long-time Greyhound owner Paul Ephremsen and his wife Zoe bought the property a couple of years back and employed young trainer Carly Philpott and her partner Darran Keefe to train a select kennel of dogs for them and a small group of owners. Carly is famously shy, who prefers to let her dogs do the talking on the track, so it was left to Darran to explain how he and Carly have been involved with dogs all their lives.
Well, I was with John McGee since I was a young lad, really. I remember going to John's Kennels when I was 8 years of age, and I was basically hooked on dogs from then, really. Carly has grew up in dogs as well because of her dad. My dad Paul's had a trainer's licence for many years, so we've both got a long sort of history in the game. Although we're only young, we've been in it most of our lives, really. We met one another 3 years ago, and we've just kind of forged a bit of a partnership.
The pair's dreams have definitely come true with a superb setup at Beechfield as they look to help the boss reach his goal.
Yeah, well, Paul Ephremsen owns the place. He bought the place last December and asked if me and Carly would come here and train dogs. Basically, he was going to set up Beechfield Kennels, and he asked me if me and Carly would be interested in running the place.
And why did Paul choose them? Well, just look at Carly's achievement of getting Ballymac Kewell into last year's Derby final while training dogs from the back garden of a home in Hackney.
We came here in June, just after the English Derby final. We've room for 22 dogs, 11 double kennels, but we try not to keep too many. We try to stay between 16 and 20. That's ideal because it's just me and Carly doing the dogs, you know, so we don't like to get overcrowded with dogs. We've basically 3 grass paddocks, a sand paddock, a couple of concrete paddocks. Working on a new gallop. We should have a new gallop in by the summertime, hopefully, and just trying to improve the facilities all the time, really.
Ballymac Kewell was undoubtedly the dog which put Carly and Darran firmly in the spotlight, and his excellent performances on both sides of the Irish Sea have made him a favourite at the kennels.
Yeah, Ballymac Kewell's been an excellent dog for us. He's got a great record, although he hasn't actually won anything. He's been a superb dog. Really put us on the map. Reached an Irish Puppy Derby final. I took him out to Harold's Cross. He represented us in the Dundalk International in the Select Stakes. He won the Pop Gun International in Furless. It's at Ledger final as well. I don't think age will catch up with him because I've always thought he'd be as good a dog at 4 years of age as he was at 2. So the breed, he's out of a bitch called Blonde Returns, and they do seem to train on very well. So I wouldn't be too concerned with age, although he'd be approaching 4 in November.
Ballymac Kewell may be the elder statesman in the kennels, but it was a puppy, Ballymac Niloc, who created a massive impression when winning his first 8 races in this country. And Darran is anticipating great things of the son of True Honcho this year.
Probably as good a dog as we've ever had. Very fast dog. Won the Puppy Classic at Nottingham in August in his first 3 ever races, won heat, semi-final and final. Brought him back to Nottingham for the Puppy Cup, which he won. Come from behind Blonde Boss in the final. And then he went to Coventry and won the TNT Puppy Championship there. And then we decided to lay him off over the winter. He's a bit too valuable to be running every day of the week, so we left him off over the winter and brought him back with the Scottish Derby in mind.
Looking ahead to June, his style of racing may not suit Wimbledon, but despite his dislike of the track, joint owner Harry Findlay is still keen to run in the English Derby.
He's very insistent that Niloc runs in it. I remember when the dog won at Coventry in the first round of that Puppy Championship, and the dog won by 8 lengths in 29.16, I think it was. And I phoned Harry up and I said to him, the dog's just won 8 lengths and done 29.16. And he said to me, that dog's an aeroplane. He said, there's only one race I'd be preparing him for. And I said, what's that, the 600 at Shelbourne Park? And he said, no, the English Greyhound Derby at Wimbledon. So, I mean, I was a bit surprised because I know he's not the biggest lover of the world of Wimbledon, but he certainly wants his dog to run in it. So we'll do everything we can to get him there.
So Niloc looks certain to be contesting all the year's classics, which of course started with the Tote Sports Scottish Derby, where he's performed with great credit. And whatever happens at Wimbledon, Darran is looking forward to running the dog in the Paddy Power Irish Derby.
He lacks a yard of pace into the first bend. He would suit Shelbourne Park a lot more than Wimbledon. So if any derby would be tailor-made for him, it'd be the Irish derby. So that's the one I'd be concentrating on more than any of the others, I suppose. I think he'd have a more realistic chance at Shelbourne than he would at Wimbledon. But I suppose people would have said the same about Ballymac Kewell last year. He was 100 to 1 chance and he made the final on merit. So there's no reason why that dog with a bit of luck won't go a long way in a derby.
Recently, of course, another Ballymac has been making the headlines. Ballymac Pires looks just like Niloc and has made a huge impression in his first few races, not least in winning the Ladbrokes Midland Puppy Derby at Monmore in brilliant style. He's another superstar from the Tralee base of Liam Dowling.
When I bought Niloc, I went over to watch Niloc trial. I actually picked Pires out as a 12-month-old pup in the paddocks. And I said to Liam, will you keep an eye on that dog for me? And if he shows any kind of promise, I'd be interested in buying him. So that was in May time. The dog was 12 months of age. In August, Liam phoned me and he said, I think he'd be, you know, your kind of dog. And I said, leave him with me and I'll find a few owners for him. So I agreed a deal with Liam and we bought the dog, and he's gone on to run 5 races at Monmore and win the 5 of them. And he broke the world record in the final. So he's improving with every run. I mean, I think we gave him 7 or 8 trials and he never let in any of them. He had to come from behind each time. Then in his first ever race at Monmore in the trial stakes, he turned second behind a dog called Black Bower and picked him up and was impressive. And then he's just basically improved in every department since his first race. He's trapping better, he's showing more early pace, he's staying better, you know, he's just improving with every run. So no, hopefully he'll carry on improving, and he might even be a match for anything if he carries on.
Of course, the kennel has plenty of other stars, including Masters champ Bubbly Chester, promising puppy Droopys Clichy, and Kegans Peter, who made a most impressive Sky debut at Walthamstow recently when romping home on Arc Night in a puppy stayers event. He won by over 9 lengths and he's pretty smart. Beechfield Kennels is really a state-of-the-art setup, already racking up the wins in less than a year. The trophy cabinet is rapidly filling up, but that success is only because of the hard work Darran and Carly put into it and the good food they feed their greyhounds. They're a young training partnership who've come a long way in a short space of time. They've got a great team of greyhounds and a loyal and expanding team of owners behind them. With such a base to work from, an idyllic rural setting and those wide open spaces of the Bedfordshire countryside, plus plenty to keep the greyhounds entertained, the future looks bright for Beechfield. Expect them to grab the headlines in the coming year.